What's going on, guys? It's your boy Adjen back again for another Outerplane video. For today, it's the usual Should You Summon video because tomorrow after the update, we will be getting a new 3-star hero which is going to be the alternate Tamamo no Mae. Now, should you summon for alternate Tamamo no Mae? Let's go ahead and check out her skill set. I've already read this one when I was at work. I was a bit late today in making this video because I just got home from work, and also I'm not really in a good condition. Yeah, I've been sick the past few days, and that's why there's no update or no uploads in my channel. So we have here the new limited hero Kitsune of Eternity, Tamamo no Mae, drop rate up. Let's just call her S.Tamamo, or S for seasonal, just like Summer Regina or S Regina. So that it's going to be pretty typical out of all the seasonal characters. So let's just put the S and then their name. So S.Tamamo is coming tomorrow after the maintenance, and she looks gorgeous. Let me give you my TLDR for this one if you don't want to stick around. Getting a 3-star Tamamo no Mae is good enough for PvE. But if you are into PvP, you might want to go all in for 6-star. But she is not a must summon as per se, in my honest opinion, because she's good in PvE mainly because of her curse debuff that cannot be removed, which is very strong in PvE, especially if you pair her with lots of nasty combination like Monad Eva that can do dual attacks. Something like that. But she's not a must because PvE right now is very easy. Although not to the point of the level of the whales, because whales have it really easy. But to average players, still the game is pretty much clearable without these new limited characters. So yeah, she is not a must summon in my honest opinion, unless you are really simping for seasonal Tamamo, or also you are a collector, so you want to get every character in the entire game. That is the reason why you will be summoning for her. Let's go ahead and talk about her skill set. Her skill 1, Ghostly Fire Full Bloom. At skill enhanced level 5, attacks an enemy with a heavy strike. Has an 80% chance to inflict curse on the target for 2 turns, which is irremovable. And as you can see here, the reason why I have here Rona here in my open here in the game, because of the heavy strike. I want to explain the heavy strike characters are. As of now, I believe, as far as I know, Rona is the only one that has the heavy strike into their skill set. Heavy strike means that all of her attacks will not be able to trigger a critical hit, but the damage dealt is increased. So no critical hit for heavy strike users. And Summer Tamamo, I mean seasonal Tamamo, has this heavy strike on her skill set. So there are some advantages and disadvantages of being a heavy strike character. Let's talk about the advantages of this one. Maybe you might summon for her just because of these reasons. One advantages of heavy strike users or heavy strike characters are that gearing them is a bit easy compared to your typical DPS character or something like that. They do not need critical rate substats. They do not need critical damage substats. That is already 2 of the most important substats for a DPS oriented character. Something like that, right? So it gives you more not really easily accessible gears, but those are pretty hard to come by, right? The combination of really good substats, unless you're crafting in the precise craft. But yeah, they do not depend on critical rate and critical damage substats, which is a big burden to get, or it's really hard to get those high rolls on them for a really good gears. But for heavy strike characters, they do not need those. That is a good advantage. Another advantages of heavy strike users right now is when it comes to PvP in today's meta, G Dahlia is everywhere, right? G Dahlia procs her counter attack when she gets hit by a critical hit. And seasonal Tamamo will not be able to do some critical hits. Therefore, she is a direct counter to G Dahlia. Yes. Because she will not be able to, she will not activate or trigger G Dahlia's counter attack, which is very, very annoying to fight against in PvP. So, there is that. But the disadvantages of heavy strike users are that their damage are somewhat on the low side. Even if they stated here that damage dealt is increased, it's still weak compared to your typical DPS where it has some it can increase their damage by their critical damage because of their critical damage percentage in their stats. That is the big letdown of this one. But yeah, I think it's pretty balanced. But pick your own poison if you want to focus on this type of characters or not. Her skill 1 also has the burst activation. Burst skill level 1 inflicts 1 additional stack of burst. Burst skill level 2, 1 additional stack of burst again. And then burst skill level 3, extra turn, then resets all skill cooldowns. This extra turn plus resets all skill cooldowns is very, very strong. Yeah, it's very, very strong. Like, you can make some really nice loop on this one, which I will be explaining later on. Once you've talked about the other skill sets. Her skill 2, Bite Kitsu. At skill enhanced level 5, attacks all enemies with a heavy strike. For each target damage, increases priority of the caster by 25% and has a 100% chance to inflict curse on all targets for 2 turns. So she will inflict also curse on this skill 2, which is a cleave attack. And the good thing about this one is that if you are fighting, especially in PvP, 4 characters, right? So one character, if they get damage, even by 1, 2, single digit damage, you will still gain the 25% priority each character, each enemy. So 4 enemies multiplied by 25%, you are guaranteed to get an extra turn after using her skill 2, which is very, very bonkers. But the sad part to this one is that if your seasonal Tamamo is only 3-star, 4-star, or 5-star, it can get countered by something like this Stella. Yeah. Also, even though the curse debuff is irremovable, once you inflict them means that you cannot cleanse them. Saj, RIP Monad Eva. This is to counter Monad Eva, by the way, because Monad Eva can cleanse debuffs. And this one being irremovable means that Monad Eva cannot do anything against this curse debuff from seasonal Tamamo. And then her skill 3, all ties are bad dreams. At skill enhanced level 5, attacks all enemies with heavy strike and increases chain points by 15. Detonates all stacks of curse on the target after attacking and reduces their action points by 80. Very, very straightforward cleave attack that can detonate the stacks of chain and also gives you some chain points via usage in PvE if you're using her in PvE. But this detonate, I need to see the damage first before I can give my final judgment on whether this attack will be good or not. Also, we don't know if her damage multipliers are on the low side or in the high end. We need to test her out in actual combat. On paper, she seems really, really bonkers. Her Transcendence, let's take a look. Burst 4-star, plus 1 turn curse on 2 random enemies at the start of the turn. Irremovable. But this one can be blocked if you have the immunity set. We are talking about something like in Arena here. 5-star Transcendence, the common one, 25 action points at the start of battle. And then 6-star, which is the bread and butter for PvP enthusiasts like me. If you want her to be really good in PvP, you want her 6 star, which is right after attack, does not trigger counter attack, revenge, or agile response, excluding dual attack chain, effectiveness 100%. So she already has a really good buff here, the stat buff, the effectiveness 100%, because her damage got some boost from your effectiveness stats. Also, this one does not trigger counterattack, meaning that once you've inflicted the curse debuffs on the enemy using your skill 2, you can proc them your skill 1 or your skill 3, depending on how many burst or action points you have. That this is what I'm talking about, the loop of her skills. So let's say you have already enough for a burst skill level 1 here, a burst skill level 3, the 300 AP points. You use her skill 2. You're fighting against 4 enemies. You gain another turn, right? And then you use her skill 1 burst skill. This one will reset all skill cooldowns. And if the enemy is still alive after this one, use her skill 2 again and then go for skill 3 to have a really nice damage, nice stacks of curse debuff to the enemy to get detonated, which is in theory seems really ridiculous. So how many turns is that one? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 turns in 4 actions in 1 turn. That is pretty OP. But the downside for that one is that the activation for the burst skill level 3 is a bit high, 300. Same like the normal Regina or something like that. A bit on the expensive side. But maybe that is why there is a Nella will come in handy for this one. Also, the new burst, legendary burst set probably will come in handy for this one. Plus your initial action points here if you have the Transcendence level 5. I'm not sure if it's doable on turn 1, but if it's doable on turn 1, then GG. She's broken. But that's just theory crafting on my side. Her exclusive equipment, Withering Flower, as I've said earlier, she will get some bonus damage with her effectiveness stats. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's effectiveness. So the higher her effectiveness, the more her damage will be. But I'm really not optimistic with this type of things here because these one are pretty big. And also, we do not know the damage multiplier on our skill set. So it might be strong, it might be weak, it might be pretty mid. Now, should you summon for seasonal Tamamo? In my honest opinion, as I've said earlier in my TLDR, if you're a collector, get 1 copy. If you want to have an easier time also in PvE, because she might be a cheat code in PvE with her curse debuff, just get 1 copy. If you're a PvP enthusiast like me, if you're a whale, you're always going to be getting her to 6 star anyways. But for me, I'm still not sure whether I'm going for 6 star. Take note that there is also an upcoming Outerplane festival. If you take a look at the developer's notes, I opened the developer's notes here to make a point here on whether this one is a factor on deciding whether should you summon for seasonal Tamamo. So we have here the previous developer's notes. This one is the developer's notes number 8. As you can see here, every 2 to 3 months, a regular event called Outerplane Festival will be held, featuring a variety of rewards. New Demiurge level heroes will be added. This is the same like G-Dahlia. Remember the time when Summer Regina got released? After Summer Regina comes G-Dahlia. And I think after seasonal Tamamo, we will be getting a new Outerplane Festival character, which is on the Demiurge level heroes skill set, which is way powerful compared to your normal seasonal characters. So take this with a grain of salt. And it's already proven that Outerplane Festival characters are strong. Very, very strong. Very meta-defining. Just take a look at Gidalia. She is very, very meta-defining. She outpowers a lot of the, probably a lot of the Demiurge level, Demiurge characters except Monad Eva. But the amount of usage of in today's meta, she's on par with Monad Eva to be used both in arena offense and arena defense based on my experience. So that is why I'm still not sure on whether I'm gonna be going all out on for 6-star seasonal Tamo, but I'm going for, of course, 1 copy. Yeah, I'm still going for 1 copy. But for 6-star, I'm not sure. I'm still not sure, and I'm still not sold on her whether if my theory crafting for her works perfectly fine or not. We will know once the update becomes live. Well, I think that's it from me for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you could help me grow my channel more. And thank you to everyone who are supporting my channel. I appreciate every one of you. Until next time, peace.